श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लाङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामिनामिने। कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं कलुषायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं। प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। We are hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto. We are about to start chapter number 13. In the previous chapter, we heard Jadabharat is explaining to King Rahugana about how the mind is the cause of bondage as well as liberation also. And he told Advaya Jnana, transcendental knowledge, is the only thing that one has to acquire, and that knowledge is possible only in the company of sadhus. It cannot be attained by tapasya, by brahmacharya, by control of the senses, by any of the other practices. One cannot attain the knowledge about the Supreme. And the only way is to get bathed by the dust of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas. By this he explained how important is sadhu sangha, and later he gave the example of his own life, that I was a deer in my past birth, and I was a king, Bharat, and I left everything to serve Supreme Lord. I came to the forest, but by seeing a deer I got attached. Because of my attachment to the deer, I took birth as a deer in the next life, and I remembered that my past. I was a king by the name Bharat, and I was performing bhajan, and because of my attachment to deer, I have become a deer in this lifetime also. So from that time onwards, I disassociated myself with asadhus. I never aspired, or I always avoided the association of the non-devotees. I stayed in the company of the sadhus in the previous birth also. And now, in this birth, I have become this Jada Bharat, and right from my birth, I have avoided bad association. So, in this manner, by coming in contact with the sadhus, by constantly hearing and singing the glories of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna in the company of the sadhus, one will attain the supreme knowledge. This is what Jada Bharat had told in the previous chapter. Now we will start from the first verse of chapter number 13. Shri Brahmana Uvacha Duratyaye Advanyajaya Niveshito Rajastamaha Sattva Vibhakta Karmadrik Sa Esha Sartho Artha Paraha Paribhraman Bhavatavim Yati Na Sharma Vandate Vindate ब्रह्मज्ञ भरत कहिलेन हे राजन यही संसार मार्ग अति दुस्तर. Now Bharat is continuing to speak to Rahugana, King Rahugana. He is telling that, my dear king, this material ocean or material world is very, very difficult to cross over. जीवलोक भगवानेर माया द्वारा ताहाते अभिनिविष्ट हइया सत्व रज ओ तमो गुणे विभक्त शुभाशुभ ओ मिश्र कर्म सकल के कर्तव्य बोलिया अवलोकन करे. The living entities in this material world are controlled by the illusory potency of Supreme Lord Maya, and thus they come under the spell of mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. Being influenced by these three modes of material nature, sometimes they perform good activities, sometimes they perform bad activities, sometimes a mixture of good and bad activities. They are engaged only in this kind of material duties. Good activities will award good fruits, bad activities will award bad fruits. But to enjoy or to suffer these fruits, we have to again come back to this material world only. Just because we have performed good activities does not mean we will get liberated. Sitting in any train will not take us to New Delhi. You have to sit in a proper train. So, doing anything or doing good, oh, I am doing good activity, that does not necessarily mean that you will get liberated to Supreme Lord. Every path has a different direction. There are different routes. Although it appears that it is the train appears the same, the railway lane appears the same, everything is the same, but all are not traveling in the same direction. So one may say, oh, performing good karma, being good to others, and seeing the welfare of all others, being charitable and noble, that is also godliness. God will be very pleased. Yes, He will be pleased, He will give you good results. Next time you will become a rich man, you will be born in a Brahminical family or anything like that, but not that He will liberate you for it. So, because the living entities are influenced by the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. Now, at this point he is performing good activity does not mean that for the rest of the life he is only performing good activity. When goodness prevails, he is performing good activities. When ignorance prevails, he is performing bad activities. So, in this manner, the living entities are constantly influenced by three modes of material nature and engaging in so-called good, bad and mixed activities. এবং ধর্ম অর্থ কাম এই ত্রিবর্গে আসক্ত হইয়া, and they are attached for dharma, artha and kama, religiosity, sense gratification and economic development. They are constantly, bound or attached by these three things. বণিকের ন্যায় সুখের আশায় চতুর্দিকে ভ্রমণ করতে করতে ভবাটবীকে লাভ করে, অর্থাৎ কর্মফল প্রাপ্ত হয়, সুখ লাভ করতে পারেন না। And just like a merchant who is in search of wealth, where can I get wealth? Where can I get happiness? Wealth means here happiness. So where can I get happiness? Just like a merchant is trying to search everywhere to find money, all the living entities are in search of happiness. And thus entering into this bhavatavi. Bhavatavi means like a forest of the material world. This is compared to a forest of material world. A merchant has entered into this forest of material world in search of happiness. Where can I get happiness? And what is he getting in return? Sukh labh korte paren na, but he is not getting any happiness. We know the story of each and every single person, each one of us. We don't have to speak about others. We are experiencing ourselves. भूलिया तुम्हारे संसारे आशिया पेये नाना विध व्यथ. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling, I have forgotten you and I have come to this material world. Bhuliya tumhare sansare asiya paye nana vidha vyatha. And I am getting various kinds of problems, not 1, 2, 3 kinds of problems. I am constantly troubled by many troubles. And bolibo dukkhera katha. I am speaking my story of misery to you. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing that forgetting you, I have fallen to this material world in search of happiness. And what is my state? I am explaining to you now. जननी जठरे छिलाम जखन विषम बंधन पाशे, एकबार प्रभु देखा दिए मोरे वंचिलो एदीन दासे. When I was in the womb of my mother, I was in various troubles. In the womb it is not very easy to stay. All of us have passed through that. In the womb of a mother, we are also giving birth. The one who is inside the womb, that person is also not living very comfortably, leisurely in a luxurious room. He is in the middle of so many fluids, so many germs, blood, mucus, stool, urine. He is in the middle of all these things. We were there in the middle of all these things. Vishama bandhana pasha, was in great pain. In the mother's womb, we are wrapped by the cords inside the womb of the mother. There is no place to stretch like this, isn't it? There is no room inside. I have to be like this only. For how long? Vishama bandhana pasha, I was in deep bondage. Ekabara Prabhu dekha diya more vanchila yedina dase. At that time, you gave your darshan to me. My dear Lord, please bring me out. I am getting so much trouble. So you gave your darshan to me. Takhono bhavinu janama paiya karibo bhajana tava. Janama hoilo padi maya jale, na hoilo jnana lava. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling our life story. It's a life story of every single person, not of 1, 2, 3. Then I prayed, when you gave your darshan to me when in the womb, I prayed to you, if I take birth, as soon as I come out of my mother's womb, I will do your bhajan. Please bring me out of this. I will do bhajan, your bhajan. Janama hoilo padi maya jale, na hoilo jnana lava. The moment I took birth, what happened? Padi maya jale, back into the trap of Maya. into the trap of Maya. Why? When I am crying, someone is lifting me, someone is kissing me, someone is caressing me, someone is loving me, they're putting me in their lap. Wow, Adarera chele, swajanera kole, hasiya katanu kala. Oh, such a beautiful child. He's so lovable, so affectionate. You see, he's speaking like this, he's talking like this, he's walking like this, he's crawling like this. All the time, everyone is seeing me, and then I have become the center of attraction of everyone. Isn't it? Child? Even in Harikatha, someone is coming, everyone is seeing child. Even nice Harikatha is going on, Krishna's pastimes are going on, but everyone is watching the child only. Why is more attractive than Krishna Katha? He is a attention grabber. Adarera chele, swajanera kole. Being the center of attraction of everyone, being a lovable child of everyone. Swajanera kole, adare, hasya katanu kala. I spent my time very blissfully in the lap of all my dear ones, or those who think I am dear to them. Everyone is, oh, please give me your child, please give me your child. Everyone is taking me, isn't it? Now, please give me you have kept in the lap for 1 hour, now it is my turn. Everyone is loving me. Who will want to do bhajan? When we are getting everything, who will want to do bhajan? Bhajan is required only when we are impoverished, when we have nothing, when we are poor, when we are in trouble. Then, we'll be in trouble. But now everyone is loving me. So, no problem. So, Hasya Katanukala, I have spent my time very, very leisurely and very blissfully. Then, in this manner, I spent some time. Then, I was sent to school. Now, go to school, study. And when studying, at that time also I have to spend my time for studies, I have to give my attention. I forgot you. Then I get job, then I get married, then I have children. In this manner, I have been postponing my time. I told when you gave your darshan to me in the womb, at that time you told. I told you, I promised you that once I come out, I will perform your bhajan. But I forgot from the time of my birth. Vardhakye ekhon upaye hino vihino tate dino akinchon. Now old age has come upon me. What will I do? The time I am supposed to do bhajan, I did not do. Now I am ready for my next entry into another mother's womb. The story begins. It is not the end. The death is not the end. It is the beginning of another end. It is going to be beginning of another end, but it is not the end. So, in this manner, the story is continuing of everyone. So, bound by the three modes of material nature, the living entities are, just like the merchant, a merchant who has entered into a forest of the material world in search of treasure, in search of wealth, but ultimately he is going to face only problem. When you enter into a forest, will you be happy? Alone. You are not able to sleep alone in the room. How can you enter into the forest alone? He is fearing so many persons entering into his room in the night if he is alone. So if he is going in the forest alone, what will happen to him? He will have heart attack even if he puts his first step inside. So many ferocious animals are there. We think that, I will get wealth, but we will be devoured by the ferocious animals. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a purport. এই ত্রয়োদশ অধ্যায়ে ভবাটবীর পার প্রাপণ করাইবার নিমিত্ত তাহার বর্ণনা করিয়া মুনি ভরত রহুগণ নৃপতিকে বৈরাগ্যরূপ অশ্বে আরোহণ করাইলেন, অর্থাৎ তাহার বৈরাগ্যোৎপাদনের জন্য রূপকচ্ছলে ভবাটবীর বর্ণন করিলেন, ইহা বর্ণিত হইয়াছে. So in this 13th chapter, what we are going to hear, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that an example of a forest has been given, forest of material world has been given. By this, Bharat is explaining to the King Rahugana that how it is very difficult to traverse through this material forest, and therefore one should not get attached to this material world or this material forest. In this manner, he made King Rahugana accept the path of renunciation. In this chapter we are going to hear this. पूर्व अध्यायेर शेषे संसार मार्गेर पार अतिक्रम करार कथा उक्त हइयाछे. In the previous chapter, towards the end, we heard the process to be delivered from this material world, that is sadhu sangha, association of the sadhus. And in the association of the sadhus, we will when we hear and speak the glories of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, then one will be able to cross over this material world. We heard this towards the end of the previous chapter. Sei path एवं पथिकई बा किरूप यहाँ अपेक्षाय बोलते चैन दुरत्यये. So in this chapter we are going to hear about what is the path and what are the persons who are traveling through this path are going to be described in this particular chapter. दुरत्यये दुस्तर एई प्रवृत्ति मार्गे अजया अविद्या कर्तृक रजह तमह और सत्वगुणेर द्वारा विभक्त कर्म शकल के जिनी निजेर कर्तव्य कर्म रूपे देखें से ही प्रसिद्ध सार्थ जीवलोक. So this material world is full of ignorance. Ignorance means he is describing mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. These are termed as ignorance. As long as we are in the three modes of material nature, that is Maya, that is ignorance. So, in being bound by the three modes of material nature, living entity is performing various activities thinking that it is his duty. This is what I am supposed to do. I was studying at IIT Bombay. At that time, there used to be programs, Saturday programs, the Kirtan and after that Hari Katha and then Prasad. So we used to invite some people there locally, the students of IIT. They would come and participate. Just outside the campus gate, there is another student who was living there, friend of my friend. So he went to him to invite that in our every Saturday in our house there is a Hari Katha program. Please come to attend the program. It will be very nice. You will like the kirtans. You will like the Hari Katha. Please come. And there is also very delicious prasad after that. So that person, my friend told me that I went to invite him, and this is what he answered. He told, "Oh, I have a child now, newly born boy. Now my only duty is to take care of this child." He told so explicitly, "My only duty is to take care of my child now." Means people are so much engrossed in the three modes of material nature and identifying themselves with the false identities and thinking that those temporary duties are their actual duties. This is happening by the influence of Maya. When the living entity forgets his real self or identifies himself with the body or the mind, then the bodily activities of the bodily duties are considered as the principal duties. We need to perform bodily duties, no doubt. We have to take bath, we have to eat, we have to sleep, we have to wander. Nice, these are the things we need to do. But that is not our only duty. We have wife, we have children, we have mother, father, we have to take care of them, all those who are in connection with the body. But that is not our principal duty. That is existing as long as this body is existing. After parents are gone, after the wife is gone, after the husband is gone, how are you going to serve that person? Is there any possibility? That's only a temporary service. You have been given a temporary duty, and that you are doing temporary duty. If there is a temporary duty, means there should also be a permanent duty. What is that permanent duty? One needs to inquire for it. But people are so much engrossed by the three modes of material nature that they consider that fulfilling these material duties are their actual duty. बणिक समूह बुझाइते सार्थ शब्द व्यवहृत है स एव सार्थ এই বণিকের ন্যায় অর্থপরহ অর্থোপার্জনে আসক্ত এই জীবলোক এই অর্থ so स एव सार्थ the living entity is compared to a merchant who has entered into a forest in search of treasure, isn't it? Merchants are always searching for treasure, for wealth. So a merchant who has entered into the forest for search of a treasure, that is what is a living entity. Means living entity is the merchant here. Treasure is happiness and forest is material world. The living entity has entered into this material world in search of happiness. Where can he find that happiness? And what are the troubles that come during happiness? That is going to be explained. এখানে সংসারকেই রূপকচ্ছলে অরণ্য বলা হইয়াছে. So here this material world is compared with the forest. এই সকলের व्याख्या পরবর্তী অধ্যায়ে করা আছে, তথাপি সহজে বোধগমের জন্য কিছু কিছু ব্যাখ্যা করা হইতেছে. So this is going to be explained in more detail in the next chapter. But in this chapter, a little has been explained. But more detailedly about how living entity is entering into this forest in search of happiness is going to be explained in the next chapter. यस्यामिमे षण्णरदेव दस्यवः सार्थं विलुम्पन्ति कुनायकं बलात् गोमायवो सत्र हरन्ति सार्थिकं प्रेमत्तमाविश्य यथोरणं वृकाः. हे रहुगण, এই সংসার অটবিতে ছয়টি দস্যু আছে. So in this forest of material existence there are 6 plunderers. What one has to undergo in this forest when we are in searching for treasure, what do we have to face is being explained here. In this material forest there are 6 plunderers. You understand plunderer? তাহারা ওই বণিকের সারথিকে সৎপথ হইতে বিচলিত দেখিয়া তাহার অর্থসমূহ বলপূর্বক অপহরণ করে, অর্থাৎ কুবুদ্ধি বিশিষ্ট মানবগণ উপার্জিত ধনের দ্বারা ভগবানের সেবা না করিয়া ইন্দ্রিয় তর্পণ করে. So what these plunderers are doing, they see that this person's mind is deviated. Now plunderers always look for a opportunity. They see that this person's mind is not present, he is deviated, so they show a wrong path. You see, if you are searching for wealth, come in this path, you will find. What is the reason? By taking in that path, they will plunder him, they will take away whatever he has got. So this balpurvaka apaharan koran, and they mislead that living entity who is entering, who is walking in this forest of material existence, and they forcefully steal away whatever he has got. He came in search of treasure, but what happened? Whatever treasure he has, that is also Gaur Premanande, finished. अर्थात कुबुद्धि विशिष्ट मानवगण उपार्जित धनेर द्वारा भगवानेर सेवा ना करिया इंद्रिय तर्पण करें. Means the meaning is that whatever living entity is whatever money a living entity is earning, rather than utilizing it in the service of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, they are misled and thus they are utilizing them for their sense enjoyment. Means whatever money is accumulated has been wasted, it has been plundered. Eyes are telling, oh, I want to go to Switzerland, please book tickets to Switzerland, very nice place. So whatever money is earned is finished in Switzerland. Switzerland is a beautiful place, right? Very beautiful place. So eyes are telling, please take me to Switzerland. Tongue is telling, please go take me to Govinda restaurant. Or some other restaurant. Very nice food is available. Ears are telling, oh, I want to hear that beautiful music. Let us go to the disco club. So in this manner, all the senses, whatever money has been earned, it is being uselessly spent for unnecessary things. Abar বৃকগণ যেমন মেষকে হরণ করে সেই রূপ ভবাটবীতে শৃগালতুল্য পুত্র কলত্রাদি তুমি আমার পিতা তুমি আমার স্বামী, এইভাবে সেই বণিকের গৃহসদৃশ অন্তঃকরণ মধ্যে প্রবিষ্ট হইয়া তাহার চিত্তকে অপহরণ করে. And further in the forest there are tigers, tigresses. What they are doing? You know, if there is a lamb that is walking in the forest, the lamb is immediately captured by the tigers, isn't it? Or the tigresses. So, this material forest is very, very difficult to traverse. It's not so easy. We are thinking, oh, very nice. If we get married, if we get children, if we get, husband, oh, very, very nice. But here, our Jada Bharat is explaining in the form of this material example, material forest example, that one is there are 6 plunderers who are misleading and taking us in the wrong direction and plundering all our wealth. And these 6 plunderers are nothing but our 6 enemies: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, lust, anger, greed, etc. So these are the 6 plunderers. They are taking us to wrong direction and all our money, energy, everything is spent uselessly for material sense enjoyment. But also there are some tigresses. What they are doing, just like the tigress catches hold of a lamb and finishes, in a similar manner, in this forest fire, there are jackal-like children and wife. The wife and children are compared to the jackals. They are telling, oh, my father, oh, my husband. So in this manner, they are, the jackals, they are eating, the living entity in this material world. এইভাবে সেই বণিকের গৃহসদৃশ অন্তঃকরণ মধ্যে প্রবিষ্ট হইয়া, in this manner they enter into the house of this merchant. I am your wife, I am your child, I am your son. In this manner they enter into the house of this, merchant, and what they are doing? They are also stealing. What are they stealing? They are stealing the mind, asakti, attachment. They are stealing the mind. These plunderers, they are stealing wealth. But these jackals are stealing the mind. Always attraction. Always attraction means always attached. Oh, my wife likes this, my husband likes this, my son likes this, my children likes this. Oh, my husband is ill. Oh, I have to cook this. Always the mind is captured by these beautiful jackals that have entered into the house. Beautiful. These jackals are beautiful. No, your experience. No. इमे এই ইন্দ্রিয় নামক 6টি দস্যু. Oh, the 6 senses are compared to the 6 plunderers, not the Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's opinion is that six senses means the five sense organs and the mind. So these six senses are the six thieves. They plunder all the energy, all the money, all the wealth that has been accumulated. कुनायकम कुत्सित नायक अर्थात सारथी रूप बुद्धि जाहार से ही जीव के एवं ताहार अर्जित धन के लुंठन करे. So, if the merchant is, let's say, going in a chariot, and if the chariot driver is not good, chariot driver is the intelligence. If the intelligence is not good, or if the intelligence is sleeping, then it will be misdirected. In Gita, the Lord compares the five sense organs to the five, horses of a chariot. And there is a noose that is tying all these five horses. That is the mind. So mind is controlling all these five horses, five sense organs. And this noose is in the hands of the chariot driver. The chariot driver is the intelligence. And the person who is sitting in the chariot is Jivatma, the living entity. And the chariot itself is the body. The chariot is the body. The five horses are the five sense organs. The noose is the mind. And the person who is carrying the noose, means the chariot driver, is the intelligence. Now, if the intelligence is not expert, if the chariot driver is not appropriate, if one has bad intelligence, then what will happen? The mind will go out of control. When the mind goes out of control, the sense organs are left out of control, which means the Sarathi, the person who is sitting in the chariot, will ultimately have to fall down from the chariot, because the five horses are, pulling the chariot in five different directions. So the Jivatma who is sitting in the chariot, he will be finished. In a similar manner, here the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving an example. These five sense organs and the mind, when they are not controlled properly by intelligence, where will one get intelligence? Bina satsanga vivek na hoy. Without sadhusanga, without sadhusanga, there cannot be good intelligence. If we go to school, in school there is no good intelligence taught. In colleges there is no good intelligence taught. They teach us how to earn money, how to become rich, how to become more greedy, how we can become great cheaters. Not incorrect. Not incorrect. So this is what is taught. How can we enjoy our senses more, even if it means to give troubles to others? But how we can enjoy more? This is what is taught. This is not intelligence. How to eat nicely, how to sleep nicely, how to mate nicely, how to defend nicely. This is not intelligence. No animals are going to school to get training in all these things. They have got this naturally. And humans also have got that natural instinct. Humans have got the natural instinct of all these things. All the living entities have got this. Nobody has to undergo any special education for any of these things. But education is required for Atma Gyan, for the knowledge of the self, not for bodily needs. When one is hungry, one has to eat, everyone knows. No training is required. No training is required. Even the Adi Manavas, means those who are living in the tribals, living in the forests and in the mountains, they have no proper training, but they know also how to eat. We may say, oh, why are you eating like a tribal man? We may say, we don't see that as a cultured way of eating, but the process of eating is the same. He is eating like an animal, But the thing is that eating, nobody has to teach any living entity. That's what I want to say. We learn so-called cultured way of eating. Oh, use spoons and forks. Why are you eating with the hands? You don't know how to eat. You cultureless brute. You don't know how to eat. Isn't it? We give training like this. But eating with spoon does not mean that we have become cultured. So, these things are not to be taught. This material education is giving us only this education. अर्थात भगवत सेवार जन्य रक्षित हইলেও সেই ধন নিজ নিজ বিষয় ভোগের নিমিত্ত अपहरण করে এই অর্থ. So even though wealth is procured in spite of using it for the service of Supreme Lord, that wealth is utilized for the sense organs. These are the plunderers. The sense organs are the plunderers. गोमायवः श्रृगालतुल्य स्त्री पुत्रादि তুমি আমার স্বামী পিতা এই রূপ বলিয়া সার্থিকম স্বার্থে স্থিত অন্ন বস্ত্রাদি ধন হরণ করে. And you are my father, you are my husband. By saying like this, these jackals are also eating all the property. They are also eating all the property. प्रमत्तम परमार्थ दृष्टि विमुख से जीव के ताहार गृहेर न्याय अंतःकरणे प्रवेश करिया এই अर्थ. प्रमत्तम means they are making him mad by entering into his house as son or a daughter or a wife or a husband. They are entering into the house as till now they are someone else. They are nobody to us. But the moment we are married, they enter into our house. Oh, I am your wife. Oh, I am your husband. So immediately the bondage begins, and a man or a woman is intoxicated by this newly entered person in our life. উড়ানম বলিতে মেষ, নেকড়ে বাঘের দল যেরূপ মেষকে হরণ করে. Just like this nekde bag means?
Nekde bag.
What is nekde bag?
Jackals
and like this, a group of these jackals and tigresses, they attack the lambs. So they are attacking the lamb. Lamb is a poor fellow actually. Lamb means sadhu fellow. He does not eat, all nonsensical things. You have seen lamb? You would want to love a lamb, but not a jackal. If your lamb and a jackal is kept, you would want to love a lamb, isn't it? Lamb is so nice. You understand lamb? No? What is lamb in Russian language? Beautiful. To look also beautiful. So, to love, lamb is basically very nice fellow, but he falls victim to these jackals. In this manner, this forest of material existence is being explained. We will continue tomorrow. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधर्विका गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय. परमादत्तम पतित पावन स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. नित्यलीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद प्रमं स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति दयिता माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री रूपानुग गुरु वर्ग की जय. श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ षड गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय. श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेदव्यास महामुनि की जय. जय श्री श्री जड़ भरत की जय. श्री रघुगण राजा की जय. समागत भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्तवृंद की जय. श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे.